So while I'm currently sick with what I think is maybe a stomach virus, I'd like to talk about the brand new Figuarts Toji Fushiguro images that have been released at San Diego Comic-Con. Hopefully cheer myself up just a little bit. First of all, a lot of good stuff actually has been shown off by, Tamashii Nations. We also have, news about Sanji finally having pre-orders open. Mihawk, I believe, is an online exclusive similar to Ace. There's also, oh god, I don't even know how I'm going to pronounce this name because I need to watch Gundam Wing, but the SH Figuarts Gundam stuff is actually really sick, so I'm hoping we get Armro in the future since we're getting Char Aznable. And then the Scarlet Spider from Across the Spider-Verse, I think that's also an online exclusive. I don't think that looks bad at all. I think the cell shading is really sick. Jojo Part 3 Jotaro Kujo, that's also really good looking. Me personally thinking that looks it looks pretty similar to the SAS version, but I think if I was going to get one, probably this one here. But again, just gotta talk about Toji. This thing looks incredible, and I think they did just about everything right that they needed to do with this one. Again, great reveals from other lines, stuff in this line. This is like the top for me, just not only because I was really hyped for this character, a lot of us were, and some of us were kind of annoying about it, but it just looks really, really good. So let's go into the professional images. We have some really nice posing going on here. Really digging the inverted spear. So somehow I missed the video promotion for this like a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week and a half ago, where it did tease the inverted spear of heaven. So I'm glad we do have that. And we also have windswept hair here. The curse is on Toji here. I do think the knees, if you're looking at the knees, looks a little interesting with how they're doing that articulation and how the cuts are done there, but I don't think that's too bad, actually. It looks like single joints. I actually am not entirely sure if it is, but I think it's getting just about as much range of motion as it needs. And maybe as I keep looking at these images, I'm wrong, but we have a more standing pose here, kind of like what they showed off a while ago. I think sometime last week. Again, maybe a little over a week and a half ago. This time it's his sword, and we've already seen this image here. We have more of this blank expression on his face with his eyes are a little bit more closed. That cursed spirit looks so good, and it has articulation on there. I am really digging how they're doing that. Even with the cursed spirit covering his torso, his physique is captured so well in this figure. I know there's a lot of cuts and a lot of stuff that has to be done when you're making an action figure, to where some people who don't collect action figures will see this and maybe it looks a little weird, but at the same time, it's just like, that's just how the nature of articulation, man. Even with that articulation, this looks like Toji's body. It is so nicely done, because sometimes they don't capture bodies super well when they have to add articulation. And I think the knees are covered actually extremely well when it comes to that articulation when he's in a neutral pose like this. So I am very pleased with how this looks. And this is, I forget what the name of the sword is right now, but we have this other sword that he used during the hidden inventory arc. So then we also have, you can get this pose where he's stretching his arms behind his back, fingers interlocked. That is really sick. I love when they do hand accessories that are two hands sculpted together, and this is really nice looking. Yeah, this is just, man, there's not much to go over here because it's just showing off that you can get that range of motion and you have that hand. It's just doing a signature pose basically that he does in the anime and manga, but it's really cool that you can do that. Then you have some more action poses. Again, that curse is so sick, dude. That is so awesome. And I'm really digging, they're showing off two-handed sword placement here. Doesn't look too bad. Windswept hair with more of a screaming face. I really dig a lot of what's going on here. I've said that I'm going to sound like a broken record when it comes to that. There's not much else I can talk about. Again, you're seeing the knees a little bit, but this is kind of a pose we already got earlier, so there's not much new to really go over. I mean, I do like the wrinkles in like his shirt and his pants. There's a little bit of in the crotch area, how they kind of do the articulation. There is sculpting in there of like some wrinkles, so that's not new to this figure. They do that pretty often, but this thing just looks really cool in a lot of poses. A little bit of a better look at, well, really that curse is covering him a lot, but you have a different face actually here looking more to the right, and this is definitely more of an action pose. This thing just looks so incredible. This is going to be hard to get. This is going to be so hard to get. Oh, God. And I'll have to go over the pre-order information in a little bit. But, yeah, again, great articulation. I feel like the torso maybe can move a little bit more forward, but maybe that's just the person posing it. Hopefully that's not, a hindered area there. Then, this is really interesting. We do have an extra accessory set for Gojo with this figure. So you get this Toji and you get Gojo's face and hair when it's their final fight together, where there's a lot of blood on one side of Gojo's face, and it's that iconic scene. I mean, we already have that one face that he comes with. That was basically throughout heaven and earth, But this here is like leading up to that, and I think that's very cool to see. I'm really digging how that printing is going on there too. And I think they've re-released the Gojo, so it is easier to get. I think it wasn't easy at some point, but now I think it's a little bit easier to get. All right, so let's go over everything that this figure comes with. Okay, you have the whole spread of accessories. I'm letting this pan up and down a little bit. You get the whole figure here, again, just without anything on him, no other accessories being held, just fists and a neutral expression and neutral hair. Fantastic looking figure. Great physique on this thing. Lots of nice detail and sculpting. I love how this looks. You also have the hidden inventory curse there. As get the articulation in there. You can kind of see a little bit on the inside of it since it's not wrapped around his body. You do have some type of connector piece there for that curse. I'm not exactly sure how that works right now. Once this figure comes out and it has an instruction manual, we'll find out. You have the windswept hair, you have a sword and inverted spear of heaven. Unfortunately, there's no chain, but that's fine. We also have 3 different types of faces. A lot of these faces are rather similar when it comes to just being like smiling but angry action poses, which is what he does a lot. I was kind of hoping he would have a more surprised look with him where, Gojo shows back up and he's like, "Are you for real?" That would have been nice to see. We also have the alternate hair and faceplate for Gojo, and then you have a bunch of different hands, including weapon holding hands, action type open hands, more relaxed type of open hands, and then you have those 2 hands sculpted together. I don't have prices yet on this, but this thing is being released in January of 2026. Pre-orders open August 1st. If you're on Eastern time like I am, it's probably going to be pretty early. So like early in the morning. This is going to be a hard one to get. I'm wondering what the price is going to be like too, because it comes with a lot of stuff. I got to get it. It looks so sick. I'm going to try to talk about some other stuff during SDCC this weekend, if I'm feeling better. But this is definitely one of my more favorite reveals that they are showing off right now. We've already known about it a little bit, and I'm just so glad that they have committed to making this character. I can't be more grateful if I'm being honest. I know it sounds like I'm glazing, but a lot of people were not great in comments for a long time about this figure. And on behalf of those people, which I've never done that, but on behalf of those people, I apologize. And, it is a very exciting figure to have. Hopefully people can shut up now. So, really awesome. What do you think about this? Let me know down in the comments below. Again, I will try to talk about some more stuff from SDCC because I'm seeing some pretty cool stuff so far this year. I think it might be a little bit better than last year. I don't exactly remember, but still very fun times to be had this weekend with SDCC. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.